All right. So, Mr. Freeman, I think anyone who has ever had you in a class can agree with me in that the topic of social studies has really impacted your life more than anyone else. Now, obviously, you're a social studies teacher, but it's more about your older career that we have some more interest in. Give us a brief description on what you did there.
Well, if you guys ever heard of the United Nations, there's a branch of it called UNESCO, which is all about like education and science and culture. And I used to be a field liaison officer, which simply meant I was stationed in Salé, Morocco, which is a little suburb of Rabat. And what my job was to go throughout the community and to make connections with people, and then to meet with their Ministry of Islamic Affairs and see how do they equitably distribute their resources within the country and making sure it's fair, because then if they were, the United States would give them money for youth development programs.
Wow.
Yeah, this was after 9/11 though, so this is like a lot of anti-terrorist curricula we were looking at.
Yeah. So there must have been lots of tension going on there at that time, right?
Yeah, if you were over there and you couldn't meld into the culture well, it would be kind of a difficult place. There's a lot of I hate the United States, I hate Bush, which is interesting because Morocco is the first country that like legitimately recognized U.S. independence from Great Britain. And over the years, we've had a solid relationship after a couple small wars.
Yeah, so just a couple.
There's a couple.
Yeah. So overall, how would you say the topic of social studies impacted you the most on your own career?
I'll put it this way. If you think about history courses, it's always about understanding what happened everywhere around the world, right? Cause and effect. Mm-hmm. Second thing, if you take like other courses besides history, like psychology, you take sociology, mass society, you understand that every place is just built on some ideas. Mm-hmm. And once you just understand that as a functioning concept, you go to another place and you just look at how they do their ideas. So just about everything you learn in social studies makes this like cultural liaison officer or working for like UN incredibly possible. It's kind of funny, people are like, I need to be in science and math, those are super important. But to be able to like interact with someone and say, hey, I know your history a little bit, or can tell me more about your history and how do you interact with others, it's, when you guys take my class, you'll see there's a lot of culture talk.
Yes.
Right? And that's just because that's what regulates how we interact with you and me, and then anybody else around the world. So it's like a shoe-in. And play soccer, because it's a world language.
Yeah.
And I did that. So it's like a big shoe in the door, being like, hey, I want to kick a ball around with you. Now let's hang out afterward.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of getting to know people.
Yeah, so you understanding lots of the background history of that country you moved to really helped you?
Yeah, and it's just like, you realize everyone's a human.
Yeah.
We all have it's rough existing. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
And then you just try to connect and say, hey, tell me how you see the role of religion here. Or tell me, do you go to church often? Or, hey, what is your thought on this freedom of speech thing and female rights in your country? And it opens doors.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of things you can talk about with people.
Yeah. So you being on the other side of the world, what was your most favorite experience that you had over there that really showed how different life is there compared to the life you have here in the U.S.?
You know, I'm going to make it simple. Put it in real simple terms for you guys. Something that we have here that isn't all over the world is a bathroom with a closed door.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about going camping. I'm talking like there's this thing called a Turkish toilet.
Yeah.
And it's a hole in the ground with a place to put your feet over it. And the first time you got to go in there, there ain't no toilet paper. Because the rest of the world doesn't have white paper on a roll.
Yeah.
It's a very complex moment.
Yeah.
Where you get a little scared. And you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Now that's a little weird, I know, but think about it. Like, guys, having hot water. Like, most of the world does not have hot water.
Yeah.
I once had a shower after 3 months of not having a hot shower. I got a hot shower. I was just like, wow, this is the most amazing thing in my life.
Yeah.
So now I take really long hot showers because they're amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
So if anyone else watching this has a fascination to learn more about different areas of the world, which I really think everyone does, what classes would you recommend them on taking after those first 3 basic American Studies classes?
We have a couple really cool courses that talk about the world. So there's a world history course, world cultures. It's surprising to realize that so much of us have a common root of cultural experiences based in where we come from, religion. Second one is taking current history. We have a new class in that, which covers topics around the world. We're like, you guys, and now people realize that we still have slavery going on today, even in our own country. Conflicts that we're in. We have Marines stationed all over the world that are still fighting, but we never talk about that. And then the other one's like thinking about like sociology. You have even real cool in philosophy. What we believe here isn't believed everywhere.
Yeah.
So which means like the way we structure our reality, there's actually a lot of different ways you could do it. And being open to experiencing that change, and like if you ever get like weirdly weird feelings inside, you're like, oh, I'm uncomfortable with that, that's a really good place to be. Because then you realize that maybe everything you believe isn't as concrete as you thought. So that's my pitch for social studies. It's the place to be.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.